What happens if you try to play 2013 Modern Jund against 2023 Magic Arena decks? That's what we're gonna find out today. Jund might be the most iconic deck in the illustrious history of the Modern format. Junding him out has been a top-tier strategy in Modern for most of its life, and the archetype arguably peaked back in 2013, right after Deathrite Shaman was printed and returned to Ravnica. The deck was so strong that Wizards actually targeted it with multiple bannings, with Bloodbraid Elf being banned in 2013 and Deathrite Shaman following in 2014, and despite losing two of its best cards, Jund remained near the top of the Modern meta. If you want to find out more about the history of Jund in Modern, you should check out my article about the deck evolutions of Jund, or the video from our friends over at Card Market where they break down the deck's history with Modern Jund Master Reed Duke. I'll link them both in the description to this video. Thanks to the recent Historic Anthology 7, which added Bloodbraid Elf and Deathrite Shaman to Arena for the first time, we can now almost build historically accurate 2013 Modern Jund on Magic Arena. The core of the deck, Deathrite Shaman, Tarmogoyf, Liliana the Veil, Bloodbraid Elf, Inquisition and Kozilek, Thoughtseize, Maelstrom Pulse, Hero's Downfall, Huntmaster of the Fells, they are all there. So what are we missing that keeps the deck from being 100% historically accurate? Really, there's three things. The biggest is Dark Confidant. The 2-drop card advantage engine just hasn't made its way to Arena yet, although we do have a pretty good replacement in Phyrexian Arena, which serves a similar purpose, drawing us an extra card each turn, and actually was played in some 2013 Modern Jund builds. Number two is Lightning Bolt. Lightning Bolt is technically on Arena, but it's banned in Historic, so we can't play it. The good news is we do have Lightning Strike, which is essentially the same card, right? Finally, the mana base. There's really two issues with the mana base. The first is real fetch lands aren't on Magic Arena, and since we really need fetch lands to make Deathrite Shaman do its thing, we're playing some more recent fetch lands in Fabled Passage and Riveteer's Outlook. The second missing piece of the mana base is creature lands. Creature lands like Raging Ravine and Treetop Village are actually really important to Jund's plan, and this caused a bit of a question in deck building. Should we play more recent creature lands to make our deck play more like 2013 Modern Jund, or do we skip those cards because they didn't technically exist back in 2013? Eventually I decided, well, we're playing Fabled Passage and Riveteer's Outlook, which didn't exist in 2013 either, so it probably wouldn't hurt to play one copy each of Hive of the Eye Tyrant, Den of the Bugbear, and Lair of the Hydra to give us some cards that at least kind of work like Raging Ravine and Treetop Village. If you've never seen 2013 Modern Jund in action, the game plan is actually pretty simple. Play $60 Thoughtseizes to clear the way for $200 Tarmogoyfs. Back up the best creature printed in the history of Magic with card advantage from Bloodbraid Elf and not exactly Dark Confidant Phyrexian Arena, and then use $100 Liliana the Veils to keep our opponent's hand and board clear. Basically, 2013 Modern Jund was the original money pile. Just play all the best and most expensive cards at every point on the curve and trust that this will lead us to victory. The plan was dominant in 2013 Modern, but can it work in 2023 on Magic Arena? Let's jump into the games and find out. Want to try Junding out your friends? Well, you can snag all the Tarmogoyfs you need from our sponsor Card Kingdom over at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. All right, it is time to Jund them out 2013 style on Magic Arena. Can 2013 Jund actually keep up a decade later on Magic Arena? This hand looks like a Jund hand. We got a lot of tap lands, unfortunately. I actually really want fetches on Arena. I don't know if that'd be a good thing, but we're gonna shock and Inquisition of Kozilek. Classic Jund start. Turn one. Wow, opponent has all lands. Literally all lands now. Okay, if we can't Jund out only lands, although they are gates, cheaty lands. As far as I'm concerned, there's only three types of lands: basic, non-basic, and fetch. Actually, that's not quite true. Lotus, I forgot about Lotus. And Urza, but gates, that doesn't even sound like a real thing. Opponent, tap land. Ooh, Lightning Strike, eh? Well, let's shock and get down Phyrexian Arena. Basically Dark Confidant. Unfortunately, I think our opponent's gonna play a pretty good Planeswalker here. Karn the Great Creator. Gonna tutor from the sideboard. I mean, we have the lightning to take care of it. Our basically Bolt. There's a One Ring, oh god. I mean, Phyrexian Arena is basically the One Ring, right? If you really think about it, we also have a One Ring. It's pretty much the exact same thing, really. Ours is actually 1 mana cheaper. We have a better One Ring. Let's get a forest. All right, opponent. Well, I imagine you're going to draw some Magic the Gathering cards. Kind of a shame that our opponent had all lands in hand a minute ago, and now they're just gonna go off. There's a One Ring. Which is actually better, Phyrexian Arena or the One Ring? We are gonna find out. Huntmaster. There's no way our opponent can beat a Huntmaster. That's 2/2/2s for 4 mana and some life to undo our Phyrexian Arena. All right, let's fetch a mountain. Get down, Huntmaster of the Fells. Oh, so good. So good. Deathrite Shaman. Actually, unironically, Deathrite Shaman is hilariously good against the One Ring because it says each opponent. It doesn't target. So you can still drain your opponent out even through the One Ring. So maybe that'll be relevant. Blast Zone A. Opponent. Circuitous Route. The Night has arisen. That's a lot of lands. Are we just... Our friend Grazer, sure. I mean, we can Liliana that away, so that's fine. Liliana's got that covered. Phyrexian Arena. Draw Fabled Passage. And Overgrown Tomb. Well, I mean, if we play another Phyrexian Arena, we're kind of keeping up with the One Ring, right? Still basically as good. This hurts, but I think we actually do Liliana away the Abriel Grazer. We gotta be aggro here because this One Ring will beat us, and we know our opponent's gates, so they have Maze's End. And now Primeval Titan's in the format, so I imagine if we don't kill our opponent relatively quickly, we will lose to the One Ring and Maze's End. Opponent, I'm gonna draw some cards. I'll stick with our Phyrexian Arenas, thank you very much. Opponent untaps, takes 2. Oh god, Atraxa. Well, we have another Liliana, so we can get rid of this. How close are we to actually just winning here is the question. So opponent's gonna go to 13 from the One Ring. We can hit our opponent for 6. Oh, we gotta somehow survive 2 turns. Ugh, Plaza Harmony. All right, that opponent's back up to 18. That's not great. All right, well, do your thing, OG One Ring, Phyrexian Arena. Oh, there's a Goyf. Ooh, 2 Goyfs. Oh, that actually might matter. That speeds up our clock a lot. I mean, they could draw a sweeper, but all right, take up Liliana, discard a land, play a new Liliana. Oh, this is so Jundy. Oh, we just get to play 2 Goyfs. Liliana, take down, kill Atraxa. Okay, yes, out of here. I mean, Liliana can answer 2023 threads just as well as it answered 2013 threads. Although I guess our opponent technically did draw a bunch of cards. Well, there's a Goyf. It's a 5/6. $200, wow, $400 worth of Magic cards hitting the battlefield. Can you beat our money pile? Growth spiral for our opponent. 200, 400. Liliana's another 100. So that's 500. Deathrite was kind of expensive. Yeah, I mean, we got more money on the battlefield than our opponent's gates, whatever those are. Oh god, Primeval Titan. Whatever a gate is. Still think they're cheating. Opponent, Primeval Titan gets another Plaza. Oh, you know what a sweet draw would be? Oh my god, we need Maelstrom Pulse. No one expects Maelstrom Pulse in 2023. No one plays Maelstrom Pulse in 2023. Maelstrom Pulse, we get 3 draws at it. It wins us the game. If we don't draw it, we lose because our opponent has the Maze's End kill. Draw 1, Deathrite. Draw 2, Inquisition, and land. So now we're dead, right? We can hit our opponent for 6. We hit our opponent for 6, but then die. Oh, yeah. Oh, you know how good that Maelstrom Pulse would have been? That would have been classic Jund right there. Well, we might as well Inquisition, get a little information, handful of land shenanigans. But we are just legitimately dead at this point, right? Tick up. This isn't the, like, early scoop, we're kind of dead. This is the, you have Maze's End and Infinite Gates, we're really dead. Yeah, all right. 2013 Modern Jund. Apparently not quite as good as a bunch of tap lands. Sadly, you know, we didn't talk about this in the intro, but one of the things we technically are missing is Fulminator Mage. Fulminator Mage wasn't a main deck card, but it was a sideboard all-star. Fulminator Mage would actually be amazing against Gates. It would be so good. But we will make do with minimal sideboarding. How's our hand looking, Jund? Yeah, that's not enough action. Well, let's see the power of our mighty Deathrite Shaman. This is basically a burn hand. Deathrite Shaman, double bolt. It's a lot of damage. And a fetch land to turn on Deathrite. Busted. And let's just play the fetch. Get in for 1. Could use like a Bloodbraid Elf. Bloodbraid Elf here off of Deathrite would probably be our best draw. Opponent besiege you and Aerial Grazer. So annoying. Blockers. Oh no, and we're never getting through with our Goyfs now. Our plan has been ruined by Aerial Grazer. What land do we need? I guess a forest is fine. Double black. The main thing is we need double black with this deck. If you decide to play 2013 Modern Jund on Arena for some reason, double black is important. All the other colors don't really matter. Well, Thoughtseize is never bad. Well, actually, it's not great here, but we can take something, right? Take a circuitous route. Play the tap land. Pass the turn. Well, it's Deathrite's gonna have to do some serious work. So, I don't know if Graveyard Hate's relevant against our opponent's deck, but we do get to hit you for 2 every turn. Soon to be banned. Too good. Still banned. At least they took Bloodbraid off the ban list in Modern after a bit. Deathrite. Stupid monkey. That's perfectly clean, fair magic. Deathrite, though. Exile a, spend a mana, exile an instant or sorcerer, hit you for 2, off limits, too good, keep it banned. Thankfully not firing up their creature land. If they just start attacking us with the Hall of the Storm Giants, I think we lose, but our opponent does not seem interested in that, which is good for us. Well, let's keep Deathrite burning. So that's what, 4 Deathrite damage now? It's adding up. It is adding up. Fabled Passage, all right. Unfortunately, our opponent's still at 18 because they've gained some life. Cami of Bamboo Groves. Channel it to get 2 forests, sure. I mean, they're not gates, so it doesn't really matter. I mean, thankfully our opponent's not doing much. Well, exile the Thoughtseize. The only downside of this is it does mean our Goyfs are not gonna be great. Burn your face. Can a Deathrite Shaman beat a deck by itself? That's what we're trying to find out this game, because we have not really drawn anything. All right, Swamp. Facet. Ooh, that's a clock. But actually, no. Our 2/2s do not get through Aerial Grazers. But if it wasn't for the Grazers, though, this Huntmaster would be going off. If we can flip it, it's good. This hand is actually set up to flip pretty easily, right? Since we have nothing to cast at the moment, we can Lightning Strike at instant speed. Opponent gonna cycle Irrigated Farmland, sure. I guess most importantly, Huntmaster means we don't just die if our opponent realizes they have a creature land. Gates ablaze. Well, so much for the Huntmaster plan. Burn you down to 11. I mean, I will say the Deathrite did some work. We got our opponent all the way down to 11 with Deathrites and a Lightning Strike. I mean, I guess our plan is to go creature land beatdowns. Thoughtseize you. Opponent's gonna grow a Spiral. Hilariously. Ooh, get rid of that 1 ring. Raging Ravine would just be better, right? Raging Ravine is like the most iconic creature land in 2013 Jund. I think that Raging Ravine, thanks to its ability to grow itself, would just be better than any creature land we have on the battlefield. All right, opponent has realized they have a Hall of Storm Giants. Hopefully they realized a little too late. Basically, we need 2 attacks. Maelstrom Pulse. Well, okay. We need 2 attacks with Hive of the Eye Tyrant and then a Lightning Strike. And we actually got there mostly because, I mean, this is a very Jund win. We didn't really do much. We played a Deathrite. We cast some Lightning Bolts. We beat down a couple times with a creature land. And we actually got a shot. Opponent hits us down to 4. We need a land. We need an untap land because we got to cast this boulder. We're going to die. Oh, come on, deck. Come on, Magic Gods. Come on, Magic Gods. Deathrite shot. That actually works. It is not a creature. It is not an untapped land, so we don't win this turn. But Deathrite can chump block the Hall of the Storm Giant, so we get in. Exile whatever. Hit you to 2. As long as our opponent doesn't draw a removal spell, we just chump the Hall of the Storm Giants and then bolt your face. Deathrite did some work this game. Well, I can see why it's banned. Can 2013 Modern Jund beat a bunch of common tap lands? It's a real question. And I don't know the answer. Oh, this is classic 2013 Jund action. 2 Thoughtseizes, a Dark Confidant that's actually a Phyrexian Arena and a Hero's Downfall. That's Jund. Like, pick apart your hand, kill your thing, try to draw some cards. Ah, boy. I think we let our opponent explore and Thoughtseize the 1 ring and the circuitous route. I mean, we can't let the 1 ring resolve. That card's busted. Opponent explores, gets to ramp, draws a card. So this turn we can, ooh, more bolts. This turn we can Thoughtseize plus tap land. Good to know about the Gates Ablaze. I mean, it's gonna kill our stuff eventually, but now that we know about it, we can kind of try to play around it. Baldur's Gate, and this Maze's End is actually kind of an issue. That's gonna give our opponent gate value even while they're doing nothing. Maelstrom Pulse. Oh, where were you in game 1, Maelstrom Pulse? The double Primeval Titan, Maelstrom Pulse. Oh, that would have been so sweet. What do you got? Gonna do Maze End stuff. Sure. Picks it up, gets a gate. Well, I guess we need an actual clock. That's probably what we need the most. Land and Inquisition. Well, long term. Oh God, Atraxa. Oh, this is looking grim. This is looking grim. We're gonna shock ourselves to leave up Hero's Downfall. Although, does our opponent actually have the right colors of mana? I'm not seeing any blue. Yeah, so opponent's gonna have to wait a turn to get down. They don't have blue and black. All right, so opponent gonna get a dual land. Well, hit your face. We're a burn deck now, apparently. So Atraxa comes next turn, although we can kill it. The problem is we need, ooh, all right, there's a Goyf. I mean, maybe we can just draw enough lightning strikes. That's a 4/5. So our opponent's gonna play Atraxa, draw a ton of cards. We can lightning strike our opponent's face. I mean, we're basically in close out the game. We're aggro right now. We're in the, and that's one of the upsides of Jund is you can try to be like kind of the mid-rangey control deck, or you can try to be the aggro deck depending on the situation. In this situation, since our opponent's deck is full of One Rings and Atraxas and Primeval Titans and really, really busted 2023 cards, we are definitely the aggro. I think we actually both the Grazer, so we can get in with a Goyf. Thoughtseize isn't bad. So we get to Thoughtseize our opponent. Take a Karn, because we can't afford the One Ring to come down. Hero's Downfall, the Atraxa. Goyf is up to a 6. You can see why this card is $200. 2 mana 6/7. And oddly, we might have lethal next turn. So opponent Atraxas, it really depends on what this Atraxa hits. Oh, Grazer. No. Grazer is our nemesis. Oh, that ruins it. So now we don't get to win this turn because Grazer can chump. Oh, that's really awkward. All right, so opponent, Grazers, puts a land. They're also getting close to Maze's End. Well, draw with Phyrexian Arena, Liliana, and Fabled Passage. So I think just kill both the creatures, right? And hit you to 3, and then if we survive and our opponent can't gain life, then either Goyf or Lightning Strike does it. Well, somehow our opponent played 2 Atraxas and we're not dead. We actually have a chance to win, which is wild. Get in, hit ya. I mean, this is it. This is it. We have the, wait, how many gates do they have? That's a gate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. Wow, so they're 1 short. I think they're one short, unless I'm miscounting. So Circuitous Route, no. Wait, that must be 8, right? So this'll get gate number 9. I hope. Are we dead? Okay, I'm right, it is 9. So opponent's 1 gate short, they get rid for Goyf, but our opponent's tapped down, and we got a lightning. We got a lightning strike, and we did it. We did it. 2013 Modern Jund can beat a bunch of common tap lands. We proved it. This is the nut draw, right? I guess not, because we don't have untapped green mana. Almost the nut draw. Turn 1 Thoughtseize into double Tarmogoyf. Well, this is the ultimate test. This is the ultimate test. Our opponent is also Junding us out. They are also trying to Jund us out. But I don't think any of their cards except Thoughtseize were printed in 2013. Most of them didn't exist at all before the last year. All right, we'll get our forest so we can get down our mighty, mighty Tarmogoyf. Opponent, where's your Goyf? Where's your Goyf? I mean, at least we have a Goyf, though. Goyf is better than, ooh, and a Bloodbraid. Goyf just beats all this, right? That's a 4/5 for 2. Play all the orchestra Bowmasters you want, sure. Yeah, 2 1/1s. That's nothing. Nothing compared to a $200 4/5. Untap land, down to 14. Carousel into free Thoughtseize today. Okay, that's actually kind of brutal. Yeah, that's boy. If this card existed in 2013 Modern, it would have been banned so incredibly quick. Honestly, that's kind of a funny thought experiment. As we're seeing our opponent, let's get in there with our Goyf. Opponent's just gonna trade in a Orc. I wonder, so remember, our deck, we talked about it in the intro. Sheoldred. Yeah, and the free Sheoldred's Edict. Yeah, that card's kind of busted. How many of our opponent's cards would have been banned in 2013? Like if they, Goyf number, it's kind of sad that we drew 3 Goyfs and we are getting roundly, soundly beaten. How many of the cards in our opponent's deck would have survived in 2013 Modern? In a Modern where Bloodbraid Elf was getting banned and Deathrite Shaman was getting banned, how many of these cards would have been legal for more than like a day or a week or a month? Would any of the cards on our opponent's side of the battlefield have been legal? Sheoldred probably. Jarosel, no way. Bowmasters, I don't know. Maybe Bowmasters would be okay. If our opponent times out, that gives us hope. That is the one way that we can beat them with our Tarmogoyfs. Opponent, tap land. Finally doesn't get free value with Jarosel. Oh, we draw another land. Another land's not ideal. Thankfully, our opponent's not attacking with this Sheoldred, even though it's essentially free. Opponent, another tap land. I mean, the thing is... Ooh, there we go. I was gonna say, the thing is, if both of us keep doing nothing, we lose because of Sheoldred, but now we have a hero's downfall. Not that Sheoldred is a hero, but more of a villain. We need a villain's downfall. I guess we just kill that right now before it does any more damage. Boom. Take 4 down to 10. Kind of a risky attack, but I don't feel confident that we're gonna win the long game. Hits us. Down to 4. All right, big draw. Big draw. Bloodbraid off the top. Oh, that creature. Oh, no. Okay, we drew a lot of lands. Now I think we die because of Hive of the Eye Tyrant. Does our opponent know? They do. All right, fair enough. Yeah. Menace. We get to play first. Well, I mean, this is a good Jund hand. Awkward mana for sure, but other than the fact that we have tap lands for literal days, pretty good Jund hand. Do you also have discard? I imagine, well, I guess it depends on our opponent's hand. I would say imagine you take Goyf, but if you just have like a Fatal Push or something, probably not. All right, they take our Inquisition. Ooh. Now we're kind of rooting for our opponent to have a Liliana. I don't even know if they play Liliana. Seek a card mana value 2 or less, and a card mana value 3 or greater. Oh, yeah, that seems bad. I mean, our opponent has so much removal. I guess we just take the card draw? Take the card draw and hope for the best, I think. Well, Riveteer's Outlook. Grab a mountain. I mean, there's not really much rush running out this Tarmogoyf because it's gonna die. Come on. All right, opponent takes the Lightning Strike. They read the Baloth, unfortunately. I think it's possible. I think it's possible to get free Baloth value because who actually knows Obstinate Baloth anymore? I could see someone on Arena just thought seizing it, just snapping off the thought seize since it's it's a 4/4. That's the biggest creature. About it. Sheoldred's Edict and hits us with the Delighted Halfling. Crack the Fabled Passage, get our green mana. I guess discard would be fine. If we can draw discard, we could get rid of the removal. Ooh, well, all right. All right, Tarmogoyf, I guess it's your turn to eat an Edict. Oh no. All right, Fatal Push, that's even better for our opponent. Well, all right. Fetch land. Grab a forest. Huntmasters, oh. Okay. Maybe our opponent's 4-drop is better than our 4-drop. Huntmaster is such a cool card. I wonder what 2023 Huntmaster would be like. Probably just more power. Like maybe it's a 4/4 and it flips into a 6/6 or something. Would that be too good? That'd probably be too good. It's still not bad. It's just not Sheoldred. Also, Sheoldred's Edict kind of strong here because it can hit the Huntmaster even though we have a token. That's something we didn't have to worry about in 2013. All right, Sheoldred hits us. Well, run out the Scavenging Ooze. Gonna double block. All right, well, we kill a halfling. That also gets a creature in the graveyard for Scoos to eat, which is something. The extra point of toughness on Sheoldred. All right, Sheoldred's Edict. Well, let's eat a Delighted Halfling. Sack the Ooze. We're all in on this Huntmaster. Can we flip the Huntmaster? That would be... If we flip the Huntmaster, it could do... Eventually trade with Shieldred, right? Flip it again, make a wolf. So, oh no. Oh, sniped. All right. Oh, and the Liliana would have been an answer if it wasn't for the Bowmaster, but now, yeah. We are junding them out on Magic Arena, seeing if some Super Boomery 2013 Modern Jund can compete in 2023 in Arena. And this is the Jund dream. Like, it does not get much better than turn 1 discard, turn 2 either discard or Tarmogoyf into Bloodbraid, hopefully. Ooh, okay, opponent's doing some extra turn shenanigans. Alchemist Gambit by itself doesn't do anything, so we'll take the card draw. I think our opponent was probably planning on trying to get rid of some lands with that. I mean, I think it's Goyf time. Get down the Tarmogoyf. Currently a 2-3, but hopefully growing. Opponent cascading Cataracts. Well, play the Schwamp. Hit you with the Inquisition. Oh, that's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. Down goes the Goyf. We'll take the removal, play the Scavenging Ooze. Would really love to draw one more land for Bloodbraid Elf. Opponent. Wow, gonna take their companion. Well, we drew a land, although it's not the one we want. This is actually super awkward. I think we're gonna do the whole play Liliana, but not activate it trick. Just get it down. We don't want to discard this Bloodbraid, but now we have a Liliana to kill the Kahira if our opponent decides to play it. Oh, passing? That's also fine. No, don't kill our Lily. We spent 3 mana on that. That's a $100 card, opponent. I want a refund if you kill it. You owe me $100. Opponent. All right, plays the Kahira. We should probably Bloodbraid first because we could hit a removal spell. Lightning Strike. Yeah, that's better. Lightning Strike the Kahira. Now we can play the land and take up Lily and start picking apart our opponent's hand. Well, take up Lily. I imagine our opponent's a Gideon deck. Like, Alchemist's Refuge, it's gotta be a Gideon deck. What are we discarding, opponent? Bloodbraid's actually still decent, right? Like, it's gotta still be decent. There's no way Bloodbraid can be just a bad card. I mean, 3/2 haste for 4 and a free thing, that's gotta still be good. Can you face the power of our mighty Junding? Fragment Reality. Well, we get a death rate out of it, so that's fine. Oh, another one. Spin it to win it. Bloodbraid Elf into Phyrexian Arena. Okay. Our almost Bob. And take up Liliana. This is going super well. This is, I think, probably the most impressive game. This is showing the power of Bloodbraid. Like, Bloodbraid's been great this game. Spin into the removal spell to kill the blockers, spin into a Phyrexian Arena to draw cards, hit you for a bunch of damage. Do we get Junded out? Is this wow. YOLOing the Alchemist Gambit. Let's see if our opponent has a Gideon in hand. Tap land. Wow. Opponent just runs it out and then dies. Well, let's bring in Slaughter Games, our super sneaky tech for combo decks. I feel like Slaughter Games on Gideon probably just ends our opponent. All right. Well, we are on the draw for game number 2. Not that that matters to Jund. We're gonna win 50% of the time, no matter what. That's just how Jund works. 50% of the time, it works every time. No land on the graveyard for Deathrite, but I mean, Thoughtseize, hopefully find a way to ramp into the Bloodbraids. Drawing a fetch land would actually be pretty sweet. Yeah, let's just Deathrite, I think. Run out to the Deathrite, and gonna get their ramp on with a Cleansing Wildfire, sure. Well, there's a Goyf, untap land, and now we're gonna Thoughtseize. Can't let the Gideon come down. All right, take the Gideon. Opponent has Surge, Sweeper, Filtering. Okay, that's not a super scary hand now that Gideon's gone. Opponent plays the land. Kind of wish we had another black source. Let's run out the Tarmogoyf. Reprieve. All right, that's a good one. I mean, Deathrite is a little clunkier without real fetch lands. We gotta work for our Deathrite value. If we had real fetch lands, odds are we'd be casting a Bloodbraid this turn. Bloodbraid is good against counters too, since Cascade's gonna trigger. Well, Since we're not making mana, let's burn you a bit. Down to 15. Inquisition. Well, alright. This is gonna eat the Surge of Salvation, I assume. But we can Surge of Salvation into Tarmogoyf, or Inquisition, make our opponent Surge into Tarmogoyf. Well, run out the Goyf. Big enough to survive a Brotherhood's End. No reason to attack with the Surge out there. Opponent going to do some Delicate Awakening. How many cards are we getting rid of? I mean, our opponent's essentially a combo deck, right? Their combo is Gideons with extra turn spells that make you lose the game. So I assume they're just digging for combo pieces. Their deck isn't going to do it. Well, okay, they also have the One Ring. I was gonna say their deck isn't gonna do much until they get Gideon, but the One Ring is very good. Boy, we have a lot of 4-drops we can't cast. Opponent, One Ring. One note on Deathrite, you can drain even through the One Ring. It does not target, and it's not damage, so you can hit for 2. Wow. Opponent, Alchemist Gambit. Gideon. Oh no, we have the Lightning Strike. We have the Lightning Strike. We have the Lightning Strike. They could have reprieve. I think we're gonna do this now. Okay, Lightning Strike the Gideon. The emblem only works if there's a Gideon. This means our opponent has to draw another Gideon this turn or they lose twice in a row to their own extra turn spells. They do get to draw a bunch of cards. One Ring draws 3. They drew for their turn, that's 4 cards. Are any of those cards a Gideon? Are any of those cards a Gideon? That is only question. Opponent, floating mana. 4 mana. Another One Ring. Protection from everything does not include your own Alchemist Gambit, opponent. Unfortunately for you, unfortunately for us, opponent's drawing, trying to find the Gideon, and did you find it? Did we jund him out? Another Alchemist Gambit, and we junded him out. We junded him out, and that might have been more our opponent losing than us winning, but when you're playing 2013 Jund in 2023 Arena, well, you'll take it. We'll take it. We will play first, and sounds fine. Hopefully we get these lilies down. We need a black source. Oh no, Mill. So, the bad news is, if you go a decade back in Magic's history, Mill was like a joke. It was a meme. It was horrible. No one played it. No one played it. It like was not, I know now Mill is like an actual, oh boy. It's like an actual tier 2 into the story's bad for us. That's gonna let our opponent refill. It's like an actual tier 2 deck or tier 3 deck in Modern. That was not the case. Basic Forest is also bad, no Lilianas. That was not the case a decade ago. So there was no reason to play sideboard cards or tech for Mill because Mill was like an against the odds deck and not even a good one. Yeah, let's run out the ooze. So all this to say, our 2013 deck is not prepared for Mill like at all, just because Mill wasn't a thing you had to prepare for in 2013. It didn't exist. It didn't exist. Watch some of our old Mill decks from even like 5 or 7 years ago, like Mono Blue Mill. They're so bad. But now Mill's actually like the best has ever been for sure. Shieldred's Edict. We might have a shot if we can get down these lilies. Like if we can get down lilies to start attacking our opponent's hand. The problem is our opponent's already got enough cards in our graveyard that they're gonna be able to end the story. Thieves Guild Enforcer. They're gonna be able to end the story next turn, most likely. Potentially this turn. Boy, this is clunky mana, isn't it? Clunky mana. Still not enough black. Well, Inquisition you. Would have been better if it was a Thoughtseize and we could take the end of the story, but drown in the lock. Well, let's snipe the Thieves Guild Enforcer. And pass the turn. Yeah, end of the story is really strong when it's 4 mana. Eldrain's such a good set. That set was so good. Ooh, Bloodbraid's spicy though. All right, spin it to win it. Hit us something good, BBE. I don't know if double Phyrexian Arena is good or not. I like drawing cards, but drawing cards against Mill is a little scary. All right, well, I mean, we're gonna be drawing 3 cards a turn. Shieldred's Edict, sure. We're gonna draw 3 cards a turn for the rest of the game. How long the game goes, that is a whole other question. What do you have, Mill deck? Arena, draw number 1, Deathrite Shaman. I mean, double Deathrite Shaman. We do have ways to get cards out of the graveyard. If we could somehow find our Deathrites earlier. Maybe we can keep the graveyard clean enough to keep our opponent's stuff turned off. Opponent. Even more counters. Well, there's going to be plenty of fuel for our Deathrite Shamans. That's good. Oh no. Into the story, into another story. Deathrite Shaman. Sure. I mean, I guess we can't complain too much about Into the Stories because we do have double arena going. So our opponent's drawing bursts of 4 cards. We're just drawing 2 extra cards a turn. The Deathrites mean we're not going to die anytime soon. Well, okay. Assuming our Deathrites live, we're not going to die anytime soon. But our Deathrites might not be living. All right. Erebos' Intervention and a Fatal Push. And our opponent passes. Well, draw a card. It's a tap land. Draw a card. It's a tap land. Draw a card. It's a Hunt Master. All right, Liliana, take 2. No. Oh, opponent has drawn. Is that every Drown in the Lock? It's got to be close to every Drown in the Lock. Well, we'll pass the turn. Yeah, I might have 1 left. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, Jace. Oh, and a Glimpse the Unthinkable too. Yeah, this is bad. This is gonna let Jace draw 3. We can Lightning Strike it, so we can get it off the battlefield, but I mean, 4 mana draw 3 is not that bad. Draw 3, mill 3, like even that is probably worth it in our opponent's deck. We've had 2 Fragseed Arena going like the entire game, and our opponent's still out card advantaging us somehow. Well, yeah, now these arenas are gonna be a drawback. Let's Lightning Strike the Ruin Crab. Play a Hunt Master. Our opponent's still at 22. We haven't gotten in any real amount of damage on him. Opponent. And, ooh, does that mean we're dead? Yeah, that means, oh, all right. I mean, our opponent could have just killed us, right? If they just milled with Jace, we would have died to our own. I mean, I guess we're probably still dead anyway. Another Glimpse, yeah, okay. So that puts us, oh, we die right now? I mean, we die in 2 turns. Rivulet means we die right now. All right. Well, let's bring in our mill tech, which is, I guess it's just stuff that deals with the graveyard. Like, we don't really have a way to stop our opponent from doing its thing, but we can, like, Grim Lavamancer, Scavenging Ooze, etc. to just keep the graveyard empty. I guess that's the plan. Maybe the Slaughter games too, just to name something. Jace maybe is the best. On to game number 2, and we're on the play this time. All right, not keeping the 1-lander. All right, this actually seems reasonable. Deathrite, if it sticks, is going to be really good because our opponent's milling us. Let's start with the Thoughtseize to try to clear the way. Sheoldred's Edict, Ruin Crab. I think we got to take the crab, unfortunately. It means our Deathrite's going to die, but, well, okay. But maybe we'll just draw another one. All right, 2 Deathrites. Now we actually kind of want to get milled a little bit. All right, there goes a Deathrite. We kind of want to get milled a little to get a land in the graveyard for Deathrite. Yeah, all right. Or just draw a fetch land, that also works. Riveteer's Outlook, basically Verdant Catacombs. Pretty much the same card, right? Just like our Lightning Strike is basically just Lightning Bolt. Opponent, Duresses. Well, you can't dress a Bloodbraid Elf, thankfully. Spin it to win it, spin it to win it. We do get to drain our opponent first, but this is a big Bloodbraid Elf. This is a really big Bloodbraid Elf. Gonna try to keep our graveyard clear, or as clear as possible. Well, here comes Bloodbraid Elf. Cascade into Maelstrom Pulse. All right, not the most ideal time for Maelstrom Pulse. Hedge it down to 14. We're doing okay though. We're doing okay. We got a clock. We got a Deathrite. We have essentially a Lightning Bolt in hand. And now also a Liliana of the Veil. So I think we play Liliana. If it resolves, we Deathrite, exile land, Lightning Strike, and then tick up. If it doesn't resolve, then we hold the Lightning Strike and just activate Bloodbraid to exile. Wow, okay. Or plan C, our opponent just scoops. That also works for us. We will accept that. Well, I mean, I guess there's a way that we just tempo out the mill deck. Game 1 felt like we had no chance. That game, you cast enough Thoughtseizes. Ooh, our tech of Slaughter games. Unfortunately, no clock, which is an issue that Jund sometimes has. Like, in a perfect world, you want a mixture of, well, that's a pretty good hand, counter Thieves Guild. Let's just take the Thieves Guild Enforcer. So, in a perfect world, we want the Thoughtseize on 1 in the disruption and removal spell, but we also want a clock that we can use to attack our opponent. Now we're at this weird standoff. We know they have the counter. We would like to kill the crab. I guess we're hoping our opponent just taps out for a mill spell and we can kill the crab. That would be the easiest. Opponent, mills, ooh. Deathrite and Grim Lavamancer. Those were our plans for emptying the grave. Oh, no! All right, that's even more lands. That is kind of a Magic Arena thing, right? It feels like it. When you get the 5-land start, you just keep drawing lands. Well, okay. The landing will continue until morale improves. Well, let's swap in slaughter games to, I guess, just get rid of the glimpse. Not exciting, but that is a mill 10 in our opponent's hand, and we were doing nothing. Oh, another Thieves Guild, okay. All right, that's a little worse. Well, name Glimpse the Unthinkable, and get rid of that about it. At least it's not a land. That's a win. Any non-land is a win at this point. We will take it. All right, opponent going to counter. Well, now we get to kill the Thieves Guild Enforcer. Would have been easier if we had drawn more non-lands, I will say. I mean, but really, this is where the creature lands come in, right? This is where you flood out. You got Raging Ravine. You got Treetop Village. That's kind of the 2013 Jund plan. All right, so we get deck. Well, we're gonna lose this Den of the Bugbear, but I think we have to just start firing up creature lands because we have literally nothing else going on. All right, yeah, Fatal Push takes on our creature land. Untap land. Oh no, do you have Jace? Oh, Jace is probably, well, End of the Story is also really bad. Liliana, not a land, so that's actually good. I don't even know if we have enough basics left for Fabled Passage now. I'm kind of scared to crack them because we're gonna have to count and see. Plus, we don't really want to thin our deck because our opponent's trying to mill us. Well, if our opponent has 5 lands in hand, we might be good. Jace. The Perfected Mind, better than all. Mill says. Is this a draw 3 Jace too? It is. Oh god. When Jace is down tick draw 3, it's so strong. It is like perfect for a mill deck. Scavenging Ooze. Yeah, it's just too late to matter. We're getting milled out here. Like I said in the beginning, we just don't have the tech for mill. It is 2013 Jund time. And this hand looks pretty good, actually. Opponent going to 6. So we can get a black source with our Fabled Passage, and then we have all of our colors, and we can Liliana. Ooh, opponent leading with the Triumphs. I gotta be playing some sort of domain style deck. Crack Fabled Passage, grab a Schweemp, and ooh, interesting Inquisition here. We could run out the Goyf, but odds of removal are high and the Goyf's small. Well, opponent has triple removal spell. We'll get rid of the Kavu, which might just be a better Goyf, honestly. I mean, I guess it has a big requirement for the lands you play. Ooh, Bloodbraid Elf. All right, now we will run out of Goyf. I guess we just gotta slog through the removal. Thankfully, we have a bunch of action in hand. Opponent, Line Mining number 1. Tarmogoyf down. We don't really have a, well, Maelstrom Pulse, I guess. That would actually be a hilarious draw with our opponent having 2 ley lines. Untap land. Grabs Jigotha. Well, we're going to spin it to win it. Bloodbraid Elf into Deathrite. I feel like we spin into Deathrite a lot with Bloodbraid Elf, which we're not going to complain about. Deathrite is good. Smack you for 3. Can you... No, all right. I was going to say, can you beat the power of our 2013 Magic cards? And our opponent apparently can. Those ley lines, do they even care about the Deathrite? They might not. Wow, Tribal flames our face. Yeah, let's just Arena. We can play Phyrexian Arena and just pass. Probably end up exiling a creature, but we could make mana off our fetch and bolt with a lightning strike if we needed to. All right, opponent, even more removal, lightning helix. Well, okay. I mean, if our opponent just runs out Jigotha, we get to Liliana it, right? So that's kind of fine. Ooh, opponent has their own Bloodbraid into, more Tribal Flames. I mean, that is a lot of damage. Our opponent's throwing the burn at the face, and we're down to 7, and we have Phyrexian Arena. Inquisition's not great. Well, let's play the Ooze. So I think we need to Ooze and... I mean, we're still kind of okay, right? If they draw another Tribal Flames, we're gonna die, but in theory, I have not ever seen anyone play that equipment, but Angel, right? Sure. Well, we're gonna kill that anyway. Opponent's trying to make some spirits. Well, we will draw a card, and now I guess we just Liliana get rid of the Jingatha this way. Discard Inquisition, which pretty sure is going to do nothing the rest of the game. Run out the Death Ray. This is actually kind of nice. So we're up to 6, and we can gain even more life with the Death Ray. So we're not dead to another Tribal Flames, which is huge. What do you find about it? Wow, scoops it up at 18. The power of Jund. So opponent, Aggro Domain. We'll bring in the Doomblades. Finally a matchup for good old 2013 removal spell Doomblade. Do we even care about the equipment? I feel like fighting against a single equipment is probably not worth it. Let's run it like that. Good enough. On to game number 2, and we're gonna be on the draw. Our Vern Catacombs is a little slow here, but otherwise this hand's fine. Honestly, maybe it's not as fine as I was hoping. We're gonna have a little bit of color issues. Ooh, opponent with the untap land and a wild nakatl. So I guess we gotta get, what color do we need? Green lets us play Goyfs, black lets us Thoughtseize. We're gonna need both eventually. Yeah, let's get green. Green turns on more of our hand at this point. Ooh, opponent with another untap land. Oh no, not a, oh boy, that's a scary start. Well, okay, there's our black mana. I guess we Thoughtseize. Yeah, I think we just take the Shadow Prophecy. They still need 2 mana to cast Bloodbraid. So they can Inquisition, and then hopefully our mighty Goyfs will save us. Oh, we needed that fetch land. Oh, sneaky Kavu. That was actually a really good play by our opponent. I was thinking, yeah, we're gonna kill the Kavu. I was thinking they would just loot because that's the default mode, but sniping the graveyard's actually pretty good there. We're kind of getting aggroed out here. Inquisition. I mean, is there a way we stabilize? So we dropped to 4. They get Bloodbraid next turn. We get down a Goyf though, which is big enough to block. Play the land. I mean, these Death Rites might actually save us. It is possible. Death Rite number 2. So we can gain life with the Death Rite. We can block something. All right, here's the Bloodbraid. Come on. Nothing big. Ooh, Helix. Does that puts us to 1? Well, these Death Rites are gonna have to do some serious work then. Oh, they're going at the, interesting. Gonna hit the Goyf. Huh. I mean, I think this is okay. This does mean we lose our Goyf, but, so we can double block Bloodbraid, block the nakatl, gain a little life. I mean, I guess this did let our opponent attack, so maybe this was actually, this might actually been the right line. Otherwise they couldn't have attacked. We would be at 1, but they couldn't attack through the Goyf. The problem for our opponent is now we just get to do Death Rite things, right? Well, we'll see what they draw. We are at 6. They're like 1 good draw away from really having us dead. Well, Stone Rain that's actually perfectly fine here. That is perfectly fine here. Opponent plays the tap land. Well, we're at 6, so we can't die to 1 burn spell. We're gonna go aggro. Burn ya. Ooh, Scavenging Ooze is actually pretty excellent. All right, get down the Ooze. I guess the question is, how many creatures are there to eat at this point? Is Scavenging Ooze still just good? Wow, opponent just goes Jingatha. Maybe Scavenging Ooze is underrated at this point. Eat a Bloodbraid Elf. Death Rite Shaman. Death Rite Shaman has been actually legitimately impressive. Like, it's a little clunky, but it has felt like one of the best cards in our deck. If only we had, if we had fetch lands, it would be so good. Yeah, let's actually just eat a land here and keep growing the Ooze. Up to a... Oh, that is good timing for the Huntmaster. That's actually excellent timing, getting with the ooze, hit ya. And I think we're gonna end up winning this, opponent. Wow, Jund power, Huntmaster power, Death Right power, and our opponent scoops it up, and well, that's how you win games of Historic like it's 2013. So what do we learn about 2013 Modern Jund versus 2023 Magic Arena? Can the deck still keep up? And the answer is a very Jundian, sort of, but not really. There's a classic Jund joke that it wins like 52% of the time and you just grind out, barely winning more than you lose. Well, we ended up going 3-4 with the deck, which is a bit worse than that classic 50% win rate, although also not horrible. We did get some wins, and I think the positive is we did get to see that the classic Jund game plan of like Thoughtseize ya, play a Tarmogoyf, Liliana, kill your thing, Bloodbraid, spin into a Deathrite, and Deathrite was like oddly effective even without good fetch lands. But we got to see that that game plan, it actually still can get some wins. It's not optimal or even all that good anymore, but it is good enough. Like, the idea of the deck is still there. On the other hand, we got to see what an Arena Jund deck looks like, and I actually looked up. I wanted to find like a really good 2023 Arena Jund list, and I found this deck list from a player by the name of Nazo777 that has a 77% win rate across like 70 matches in best of 3, and I was actually shocked at what I found. So our deck, the best deck in Modern in 2013, the deck that Wizards had to ban multiple cards from because it was just too good at Junding people out. The new version, the Arena version, plays almost 0 of our cards. In fact, there's only 2 non-land cards that are in both decks. One of them's obvious, it's Thoughtseize. That's one of the few cards that hasn't been power crept out of existence. The other one I would have never guessed is actually Scavenging Ooze of all things, which is like a one-of utility card in our deck. But in the most optimal, best versions of 2023 Arena Jund, there's no Tarmogoyfs, there's no Bloodbraid Elves, there's no Lilianas, none of that stuff actually exists anymore. And on a card-by-card basis, it's almost laughable how bad our cards are compared to the cards that exist today on Arena. Of course, there's like the digital-only stuff, cards that never existed in Modern, Crucius and Jaracell, those cards are just ridiculous. But even if you discount those, Orcish Bowmasters, Sheoldred the Apocalypse, just like the best Huntmaster of the Fells ever. Even the removal Fatal Pushes, Sheoldred's Edict, it's absolutely absurd just how all of our cards, these cards that were $200, that were breaking Modern, one of the biggest and strongest and most popular formats in Modern, in the course of 10 years, which in the grand scheme of things is like nothing, it's a blink of an eye, have just been power crept out of existence. So can 2013 Modern Jund compete on Arena in 2023? Yes, but it's certainly playing super hard mode, and the deck is certainly not very good compared to what you could be doing. So I guess that's just a testament to how much power creep we've actually seen in the game of Magic in the past decade, that one of the most iconic decks in the history of the Modern format just honestly isn't really all that good just a decade later. So anyway, that's 2013 Modern Jund versus 2023 Magic Arena. If you want even more Magic, make sure to check out the video where we went super infinite with the One Ring, drawing our entire deck and doing some absurd things on turn 4. Or maybe the one where we talk about the most hated card from every single year of the game.